Mm-hmm. 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 The house was still, the hour was gray. Your little hands were reaching up my way, and something in your eyes, so clean, so true, showed me the man I'd been reflected through you. I've been sleeping through the years like a stone, comfortable in every wall I'd grown. Told myself the silence was my right, that a closed-off man was just a man who'd fight. But you came patting in on tender feet, looked up at me the way the innocent greet. No armor, no agenda, nothing hid. And I saw my broken self inside my kid. I couldn't name it then, the weight I felt, the way a grown man's chest can simply melt. But something cracked, not loud, not like a stone, just a quiet fracture in a shape too long to form. The morning I woke up, the light came slow, not like a fire, more like seas below. Something underground was pushing through. The morning I woke up, I thought of you. Not the man I was, not the war I'd won, just your eyes at dawn and what I had become. And I knew right then the changing had to start. The morning I woke up, you opened up my heart. I've carried stones my father left behind, convinced myself that hardness was a spine. Men don't lean, don't weep, don't ask for grace, that love's a gift you earn, you don't embrace. Watching you sleep soft without a shield, I understood what broken things conceal. Oh, not strength, not pride, not some unspoken code, just a frightened man too tired for the road. I didn't need a pulpit or a sign, no angel came to draw a sacred line. Just your breath, your trust, your small unknowing face, enough to make a hollow man find space. The morning I woke up, the light came slow, not like a fire, more like seas below. Something underground was pushing through. The morning I woke up, I thought of you. Not the man I was, not the war I'd won, just your eyes at dawn and what I had become. And I knew right then the changing had to start. The morning I woke up, you opened up my heart. I won't promise you perfection, child. I won't claim the storm in me's gone by, but I'll lay the stones down one by one. I'll learn to be the father, not just someone's son. Every wall I build, I'll find the door. Every room I seal, I'll walk the floor. You gave me back the thing I lost to time, the quiet holy nerve to start the climb. That morning wasn't loud, no thunder, no collapse. Just you, just light, just the first real breath I'd taken in years. And I said, not for me, for you I rise. I used to rush past you every morning, tie my knot, straighten my collar, look away. Told myself I was a good man, a strong man, but the mirror kept the receipts of every day. I built a story tall enough to live in, told it so long it started feeling true. Said I was misunderstood, said I was trying, said every broken thing was someone else's due. I dressed my excuses up in righteous language, wore my wounds like medals on my chest, convinced the room, convinced my closest people, but the one I couldn't fool was staring from the glass. No filter on that face at 6 a.m. No audience to play the better man. Just fluorescent light and cold ceramic tile, and every lie I'd carried for a while. Mirror don't lie, mirror don't bend, mirror don't tell you what you wanna hear again. Mirror don't soften what the years have made. Mirror holds the truth that you've been trying to evade. I look myself dead in the eye today. No turning, no excusing, no looking away. The man I've been pretending not to see. Mirror don't lie, and neither should I be. Oh, I said I loved her, but I loved my comfort. Said I was present, but my mind was always gone. Said I was building something worth believing, but I was just a man who couldn't right his wrongs. Said I was healing, but I wasn't hurting. Said I was open, but my doors were iron sealed. Said I was different from the man before me. Said a lot of things that daylight now revealed. No script to read, no crowd to reassure, no carefully constructed signature, just the raw arithmetic of who I've been, the tally cost of everything unseen. Mirror don't lie, mirror don't bend, mirror don't tell you what you wanna hear again. Mirror don't soften what the years have made. Mirror holds the truth that you've been trying to evade. I look myself dead in the eye today. No turning, no excusing, no looking away. The man I've been pretending not to see. Mirror don't lie, and neither should I be. And I could've walked away again, could've splashed some water, called it cleanse, could've blamed the light and blamed the hour, could've dressed the wound and called it power. But something in me chose to stay and look, to read myself like some unfinished book, to sit inside the silence of that glass and reckon with the man who used to pass. I am not the villain of a simple tale, I am not beyond the reach of what's not stale, but I am responsible for every scar that I left on people who deserve more than I. They say the truth will set you free. They don't tell you it'll bring you to your knees first. Standing in that bathroom, nowhere to run, nowhere to perform, just me and the man I'd made and the man I still had time to become. Mirror don't lie, mirror don't bend, but mirror gives you one more chance to start again. Mirror shows the cracks, but also shows the light. Mirror is the first step toward getting this thing right. I look myself dead in the eye today, and for the first time I decided I would stay on the man I've been, become the man I see. Mirror don't lie, and finally neither will I be. I stayed, I looked, I didn't look away. That was the bravest thing I'd done in years. We don't talk about it, men like us. We bury what we broke beneath the fuss. But I've been carrying your name like a stone. Every quiet room reminds me I'm not done. We came up together on the same cracked street, shared the same cold hunger, the same summer heat. You called me brother, and I wore it proud, till the moment that it cost me, then I bowed. You needed me to stand, and I stepped back, told myself a story to excuse the fact, dressed my cowardice in complicated words, left you holding weight I should have shared. That's what occurred. And sorry is a small word for a large crime. Sorry is a band-aid on a fault line. Sorry fits on greeting cards and texts, but what I did to you deserves a whole lot more than that. I owe you more than sorry, more than shame, more than showing up and calling out your name, more than good intention arriving late, more than finally knocking when you changed the game. I owe you the truth I swallowed back then. I owe you the brother I should have been. Words are just the beginning of the debt I've made. I owe you more than sorry, I'm afraid. I watched you fall and told myself you'd land, convinced myself you didn't need my hand. The truth is I was scared of what it cost, and I chose myself and let a good man get lost. You never threw it back in my face, just quietly withdrew and found your grace. And that silence cut me deeper than a fight. A man who stops expecting you gets it right, and sorry comes too easy on the tongue for men who should have acted when they were young. Sorry is the first word, not the last. What follows sorry is what bridges the past. I owe you more than sorry, more than shame, more than showing up and calling out your name, more than good intentions arriving late, more than finally knocking when you changed the gate. I owe you the truth I swallowed back then. I owe you the brother I should have been. Words are just the beginning of the debt I made. I owe you more than sorry, I'm afraid. Maybe you've moved on, maybe you're fine, maybe what I'm carrying is only mine. Maybe this confession is too late to land, but I'd rather say it than die a hollow man. I'm not asking you to open every door, not asking you to trust me like before. Just laying down a stone I've carried long, admitting to the world that I was wrong. Men don't talk about the friends they failed. We talk about the women, the jobs, the roads not taken. But some of the deepest cuts I've ever made were the men who trusted me with something real, and I looked away. I won't look away anymore. I owe you more than sorry, more than tears, more than this song arriving after years. But it's what I have, my voice, my truth, my pen. So I'm giving you the most honest thing I've got again. Not asking for forgiveness, just the floor to say I saw what happened and I stood before every choice I made that cost you, and I own it all. I owe you more than sorry, that's my call. To every man I left standing alone, I see you, I was wrong, and I'm working on becoming someone who wouldn't do it twice. They said don't cry, they said stand tall, they said real men don't feel it all. So I built myself a fortress, stone by stone, and called it strength. But it was just alone. My daddy never held me when I fell. Said walk it off, said pain was yours to quell. Said tears of weakness leaking through the cracks. Said men don't break, they just don't look back. So I took that lesson, wore it like a skin, locked the softer parts of me within. Smiled when it hurt, stayed quiet when I bled, carried everything they taught me in my head. And the wall went up so slowly I didn't see, brick by brick becoming all of me, till the man inside had nowhere left to go. A fortress built so well he couldn't grow. I'm tearing down the wall, stone by stone, every brick of lie I was raised to own, every layer hiding something true. A man who wanted love but never knew. I passed it down without a second thought, gave my children everything that I'd been taught. Told my son to shake it off, stay strong, watch him swallow something, knew it was wrong. Saw my daughter reach for me one day, and the wall inside me turned her hands away. Not with anger, just with empty space, the saddest kind of harm, the kind with no face. And I can't undo the years already gone. Can't they can grow up free. Nobody tells you how heavy a wall gets. You build it to protect yourself. One day you realize it's not keeping the pain out anymore. It's keeping everything else out too. The love, the light, the people reaching in. That's when you know the wall has to come down. I'm tearing down the wall, stone by stone. No more living in a house I build alone. Every crack I make lets something through. Grace and grief and light and something new. I'm tearing down the wall with open hands, becoming more than what my raising planned. It's gonna hurt like healing always does, but I'm tearing down the wall because I'm up. For every man who was told not to feel, you were lied to. Feeling is not weakness, it's the bravest thing we do. Start with one breath, just one. Just one. These hands have held hammers and held grudges too. Built things and broke things. Some of them were you. I look at them now in the morning light, wondering if hands can learn to make things right. There was a night the anger got too loud, and I became the storm inside the cloud. These hands that should have sheltered pushed instead, left marks on more than walls, on hearts, on dread. And then the mornings after, full of shame, when I dressed the damage up and placed the blame, said you provoked me, said the pressure broke me down, wore my explanations like a crown. But crowns don't cover what the silence knows, and every wound I gave you still shows. Not just on skin, on trust, on midnight fear, on the way you flinched when I came near. These hands that used to hurt, I'm learning what they're for. Not for closing doors or settling scores. Not for silence that cuts deeper than a word. These hands that used to hurt are reaching out today, finding in the wreckage of the pain something worth building, worth the change. These hands that used to hurt are choosing love this time, one open palm at a time. And it wasn't always visible, the harm. Sometimes it was cold shoulder, not alarm. The hand withheld when someone needed hold. The warmth I had inside but never told. The fist that never swung but still stayed clenched. The thirst for connection never quenched. The children watching daddy's jaw go tight, learning that a man means ready to fight. And both kinds leave a mark upon the soul. Both kinds make the people around you cold. Both kinds teach the ones you love to brace. Both kinds steal the safety from a place. These hands, they used to hurt, I'm learning what they're for. Not for closing doors or settling scores. Not for silence to change. These hands that used to hurt are choosing love this time. One open palm at a time. I won't hide behind the way I was raised. Won't lose myself inside a victim's gaze. I am the product of the pain I've known, but I am also every choice I've shown. These hands have held my children while they slept, have wiped away the tears that I have wept, have planted seeds and cooked and built and prayed. These hands still have a chance to be remade. I used to think strength lived in the grip and how hard you held, and how much you could take without breaking. Now I think strength lives in the open hand, in knowing when to let go, and learning how to touch something gently and still have it stay. These hands that used to hurt have held enough of pain. They're laying down the anger and the shame. They're learning how to carry without crushing, how to reach without demanding, how to love without the cost of all that strain. These hands that used to hurt are my offering today, imperfect scar, but finally turned toward grace. One open palm at a time. One open palm at a time. To everyone these hands have ever hurt, I see what I did. I am not that man anymore, and every day I choose it. These hands build instead of break. I found his old jacket in a box last spring. Put it on without thinking, noticed everything. The way it fit my shoulder, the weight of it, the smell, and something in the mirror made my stomach fell. He wasn't cruel, my father, just unreachable, like a radio signal fading in and out. Some days he was warm and almost teachable. Most days he was somewhere wrapped in doubt. He'd come home carrying something no one named, set it down between us like a wall, pour himself a glass and sit there unexplained. And I learned not to ask, not to call. He tried, I know he tried, in his own way. Fixed the car, kept the lights on, paid the rent. But love needs more than what the hands can say, and the words he couldn't give me, well, they went. He never told me how to hold a breaking heart, never told me grief was just love with nowhere to start, never told me it was safe to come undone, so I never learned it either. I'm his son. My father never told me how to cry, never told me it was human to ask why, never told me that a man could need a hand, so I became a man who doesn't understand. My father never told me, but he tried, carry something heavy that he kept locked inside. Now I'm standing in his shoes, as cold as weight. My father never told me, and I'm him today. caught myself last Tuesday going cold. Someone needed me, and I just froze. Went somewhere inside that place I know, that distant, quiet country where he goes. My children at the table looking up, the same eyes I once gave my father to, waiting for a warmth I can't unstop. And I felt him in me, felt it coming through. Not with anger, not with any blame, just this hollow echo of a borrowed pain. Like I inherited a silence with his name, a handed down unspoken burning flame. He never told me how to stay when things got hard, never told me love meant showing all your scars, never told me strength could wear a softer face. So I fill the gap with distance just in case. My father never told me how to cry, never told me it was human to ask why, never told me that a man could need a hand. So I became a man who doesn't understand. My father never told me, but he tried. Carried something heavy that he kept locked inside. Now I'm standing in his shoes, as cold as weight. My father never told me, and I'm him today. I don't hate him, God, I don't hate him. I see him now the way the grown can see. A frightened boy inside a grown man's frame, who gave what he had left, which wasn't free. But seeing it don't stop the ache from spreading, don't fill the rooms that should've had his voice. Understanding why don't stop the inheriting, and inheriting don't mean I have no choice. I put the jacket back in the box, folded it the way you would have, careful, quiet, saying nothing. And I sat there for a long time, thinking about how much of him lives in me, the good and the gone. And I thought he didn't know he was passing this down, he just didn't know, but now I do. And knowing changes everything, or it should. God, it should. My father never told me, and I understand. He was just a wounded boy who became a man, doing what the broken do, surviving, getting through, passing down the silence like it was something true. My father never told me, and neither have I, not yet, not fully. And that's the reason why this song exists at all, this reckoning, this weight. My father never told me, am I already too late? I'm still wearing his jacket, it still fits. God help me, it still fits. Nobody told me changing had a price like this, that the road to better runs through everything you miss, that the man you laugh with wouldn't understand the turn, that the life you're leaving still has places left to burn. We used to close the bar down every Friday night. Same story, same excuses, same old fight. I was the loudest one, the one who set the tone, the king of every room I'd ever known. But something shifted quiet in my chest one day, and the things that used to fill me fell away. The noise felt hollow, all the laughter rang untrue, and I knew I had to walk towards something new. So I said goodnight and meant goodbye. Didn't explain it, didn't really try. Some things you can't put words to in the moment's wait. You just turn and walk before it gets too late. It's a long walk home through the life you used to know, past the corners where the old you used to go, past the faces that remember who you were, past the habits calling soft like they prefer. It's a long walk home and the road don't feel like grace, feel like lost dressed up in an unfamiliar face. But I keep walking cause I know what waits ahead, a man worth being, so I walk instead. They said I changed like it was something to be ashamed, like the man I was deserved to stay the same. Said I thought I was too good for where we'd been, didn't understand I was too tired, not too clean. Lost a phone full of numbers overnight, lost the easy comfort of not doing right, lost a version of myself they'd come to know. Sometimes love means being last to let it go, and the habits don't go quiet, no they don't. They stand outside your window like they won't. They speak in the old language of your name. The man you're leaving says you'll come back just the same. It's a long walk home through the life you used to know, past the corners where the old you used to go, past the faces that remember who you were, past the habits calling soft like they prefer. It's a long walk home and the road don't feel like grace, feel like lost dressed up in an unfamiliar face. But I keep walking cause I know what waits ahead, a man worth being, so I walk instead. I grieve the man I was, I do. He had his reasons, had his truth. He was doing what he knew to stay alive. Can't dishonor him just to survive, but I bury him with gratitude and grief, with the quiet of a long exhale, relief. He got me here, now I take it from this place, walking toward a life with room for grace. People think transformation looks like lightning, like one moment you're lost and the next you're found. But it's not like that. It's a Tuesday morning when you don't make the call. It's leaving early when you used to stay. It's sitting with the discomfort of a quieter life and deciding again that it's worth it. It's a long walk, and you take it alone, and somehow that's exactly right. It's a long walk home, but I can see it now, the life I'm building, learning when and how. Past the ghost of every choice I left behind, past a version of myself I had to find. It's a long walk home, but my feet know the way. Every step a choice I'm making every day, and the man I'm walking toward is finally free. The long walk home was always home to me. I don't miss the noise anymore. I miss the belonging, but I'm learning.
you can belong to yourself first. And that's enough. That's more than enough.